Hello and welcome to qualifying for the Hoosier Formula Cup, the first outing of the single-seaters this weekend, and of course the penultimate ultimate cup weekend of the year. I can't believe so far we've managed to fit so much into a year, and here we are in Magny with just one more round to go in Paul Ricard to wrap up the championship. And the qualifying session, we'll have two qualifying sessions to determine the grid. We have 3 races in the Hoosier Formula Cup Championship over the next couple of days. And it will be the first race getting underway tomorrow. Actually, all 3 races are happening tomorrow. So if you're a big fan of the Hoosier Formula Cup racing, we've got all of the races happening tomorrow. So who is out and about at the moment on the track? 13 minutes then on the clock. There's 15 minutes, but some of them have already ticked down. That's Solly and Amrouche, who is joining us again for Lamo Racing. And some changes to the lineup to the Hoosier Formula Cup this weekend. We've got Hugh Barter back, the Australian for Winfield Racing, missed out on last weekend, or the last race weekend that we had, and he was leading the championship when he unfortunately missed out on that round. And Nano Lopez has taken the lead of the championship coming into the penultimate round here at Magny, and he will be looking to see if he can pick up pole position ahead of the first race. Last time out, with no Hugh Barter here, it gave quite a few other drivers the chance to pick up some wins and some good positions, and Nano Lopez picked up a first place in the second round at Aragon, and he picked up a second place, he picked up a win rather at round 2, at race 2 rather, and then in race 3 he picked up a second place. Dylan Estra was off the podium for the entirety of that weekend, but Aaron Ferrazzano was the one that we were all talking about, with 2 wins and a 4th place. Great work as well from Matteo Valente, who picked up a 2nd place and a 3rd. So this is Nano Lopez, the championship leader for TS Corsa. And this is a new entry for this weekend for Stack Racing, and it is Jeremy Clavard in car number 91. And like I say, joining us for the first time this weekend and the first time in the Hoosier Formula Cup. At the moment, it is Hugh Barter leading the way with a 1:42.2 from Dylan Estra, who's 4/10 behind at the moment for Formula Motorsport. Matteo Valente currently a 2.5 behind in 3rd place, so times are starting to tumble in, and we will see soon who will be starting on pole position. Hugh Barter then is setting the pace at the moment and setting another fastest first sector. That there is, I think it was Aaron Ferrazzano, yes it is, for Winfield Racing. The rookie has been, like I say, really impressive this season. Picked up his first win of his Hoosier Formula Cup career in Aragon. Had a really successful weekend with 2 wins and a 4th place. That is Dylan Estra, I believe, getting a little bit out of shape for Formula Motorsport, but continues. Dylan Estra, who had 1 retirement and a 4th and a 9th in Aragon, and currently sitting 3rd in the championship, has not had a win yet this season, but has had 3 second places and 4 third places. So has been impressive, and just looking for that first win of the season is Dylan Estra. This is Gilles de Pierre, who is currently down in 13th at the moment, being followed and hunted down by Nano Lopez, who has not set, he has set a time, my apologies, he's down in 6th at the moment, so off the pace a little bit. Solly and Amrouche then down in 11th as it stands at the moment. Hugh Barter sets another fastest lap, and he's now into the 1:37s. He is now a second and a half quicker than Matteo Valente in second for Artline Barrage. Nano Lopez moves his way up to third place, but is quickly bettered by Aaron Ferrazzano in third for Winfield Racing. This is still Solly and Amrouche, who is currently fifth at the moment. She picked up her first podium in Aragon, a third place overall in the first race. Dylan Estra then looking to see if he can get better than 14th at the moment, set the fastest middle sector. And he will be coming around now to finish his lap, coming up to turn 14. And the right-hander at 15. A little bit of a slide into the chicanes as he heads across the start-finish straight, and that takes him to second. That's a really good lap from from Dylan Estra for Formula Motorsport. He moves himself up then to second place on the grid and just 2/10 off Hugh Barter's time. So really good then from Dylan Estra. And he's got 7 minutes left on the clock now. Can he go for pole position? That's Solly and Amrouche getting out of shape. Looks like she was up by turn 14 on the almost long back straight, but not really straight because it's got a kink. Hugh Barter still out there setting purple sectors. Here's the replay of Solly and Amrouche then, just gets a little bit out of shape. Oh, hits across the curb, and that will give her a little bit of a sore back because these the floors on these cars are quite unforgiving. So she might be a bit sore after that one, but she has got going again. Currently at the moment down in 7th place. Hugh Barter then fastest first sector, but Dylan Estra's on a quick lap again. He's got the fastest middle sector overall. Hugh Barter is set a personal best in the middle sector, but not as good as Dylan Estra's. This isn't either of them. That is Craig McClatchy, who's down in 14th at the moment. So let's see what Hugh Barter can do in the final sector. Dylan Estra sets a quicker time, but not a personal best in the third sector, and he goes up to a 1:37.4. Let's see what Hugh Barter can do. He immediately is quicker with a 1:36.8, so that's over half a second quicker than Dylan Estra. So brilliant work from Hugh Barter, finding some speed out there. Track temperature will have got pretty cool out there now. Oh, and that is car number 24, which I believe is Aaron Ferrazzano. Nano Lopez, no, that's the championship leader, my apologies. Nano Lopez for TS Corsa is stuck in the gravel, and he's currently down at the moment in 5th place. The red flag is out for the car in the gravel because you can't get it out of there. So what happened to our championship leader? He's going to be frustrated with that one. Here we go then. Loses the rear and currently spinning and stuck in the gravel. And that's up by, I believe, it looks like turn 17. So session has been stopped with 5 minutes left on the clock. And that is a Hoosier tyre that will not, unfortunately, as good as they are, be able to get Nano Lopez out of the gravel. So red flags out then. We'll see if this is going to be resumed. Might not be though, but as it stands at the moment, Hugh Barter then leading the way by half a second with a 1:36.8. Dylan Estra second. Recovery vehicle is quick to the scene to remove Nano Lopez from the gravel. Matteo Valente is third. Aaron Ferrazzano is fourth. Nano Lopez, the man right there in the gravel, is down in 5th at the moment. Lauren Vutic, the gentleman driver, leading the gentleman driver at the moment, the championship, and leading the way today in qualifying for Formula Motorsport is down in 6th. Jeremy Clavard down in 7th at the moment, and that's pretty impressive for somebody that's just joined the championship. Solian Amrouche down in 8th at the moment for Lamo Racing. Walter Rijkaard down in 9th. Alain Boucher in 10th. Frederic Morin is down in 11th. Gilles de Pierre in 12th. Frederic Boileau in 13th. And Craig McClatchy is down in 14th at the moment. Nearly 10 seconds off the pace. So with 5 minutes left on the clock, we're going to see here how quickly Nano Lopez can get back to the pits and if we can get this session back going. This one, this qualifying session will determine the grid positions for the first race of the weekend. The second qualifying session is the second race of the weekend. That's Frederic Boileau. And he's got some good sponsors there. And that's a disappointed Nano Lopez. A great lid this weekend, though. I'm loving that one. Very bright. And I swear it's a different one from his one before, but it's a great helmet. Nano Lopez then watches the TS Corsa car be put onto the back of a lorry. Not what you want to see halfway through qualifying, and not something we're used to seeing from Nano Lopez, actually. Here then is Hugh Barter back and joining us once again, and ready to take the championship lead back off Nano Lopez. Session to resume at 5:59 local time, so that's in about 2 minutes, minutes time. And don't think Nano Lopez will be taking part in this session, I'm afraid. If he gets it back in time, he might be able to get involved in the second part of qualifying, which you can see the TS Corsa mechanics striding up the pit lane to go and retrieve the car that's been stuck in the gravel. That's Craig McClatchy then, Winfield Racing down in 14th at the moment, the Australian joining us again, which is nice to see. And it all has fallen a bit quiet at the moment in the pit lane as these cars wait to get going again. So it'll be 6 minutes left on the clock to see if anyone else can set a faster time than Hugh Barter's 1:36.8. And I will be surprised to see anyone go quicker than that. Quick Dylan Estra getting out there as quickly as he can at the front there. Laurent Vucic following him from Walter Rijkaard just behind. Just behind that, Hugh Barter in car number 22, and then our newbie. Oh dear, we've got a problem here for Aaron Ferrazzano for Winfield Racing. They're giving it a good old push and seeing if they can get him going, and they can. Nothing better than a bit of brute strength, is there? So they've got to warm up their tyres again, as you can see there, Hugh Barter doing, just weaving a little to get a little heat in those tyres so that he can start setting some fast laps again. Solian Amrouche remains in the pits, so might not be taking part in the rest of this session for Lamo Racing. We'll see if she comes out eventually. So the session restarts then with less than 5 minutes left on the clock because of Nano Lopez putting his TS Corsa car, unfortunately, into the gravel. So can anyone better Hugh Barter's time of a 1:36.8? That is the question here. And this man here, Dylan Estra, will be hoping that he can for Formula Motorsport. Doesn't necessarily mean he will. But if he can get enough heat into those tyres, he can try and find that half a second he's missing off Hugh Barter's time. Hugh Barter is an experienced racing driver joining us for this season. He's raced in FIA Formula 3 and Spanish F4 and French F4 championships as well. Finished runner-up as in French F4 in 2021 and 2022. Was runner-up as well in the 2022 Spanish F4 championship. But he last raced in FIA Formula 3 back in 2023 at Campos Racing, but now joins us here. We're very lucky to have him in this championship. He's done some bits for Formula E as well, has Hugh Barter, the Australian-Japanese driver. Ooh, bit of a twitch there from Dylan Estra. Not going to get a quick time in the bag if you're all over the place like that, unfortunately. He's down on this lap anyway. Hugh Barter has set a fastest middle sector. So can he better the time of his 1:36.8? Oof. Makes a lot of curb, does Dylan Estra. It's a personal best in the final sector, but remains in second as it stands. So he goes again. Matteo Valente also setting a personal best down in the middle sector, I'm afraid, though. It doesn't look like, unless he can get a really good final sector, that he will be able to better it now. The tyres have gone a bit cold out there, so they're all going to have to warm them back up again. But you have to say, as it stands, it looks like it could be pole position for Hugh Barter for the first race of the weekend for these guys. So they will be out tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning is when we would need to be here for the Hoosier Formula Cup, and then again at 10 to 3 local time, and then their final race is the final track action of the day at 5:10 for the third race of the season. They are, for the weekend rather, they are 20-minute races and they are pretty fun, so do make sure you join us if you can. Once again, Dylan Estra taking the corners quite aggressively. He did set a very fast final sector, and that is a spin there from Walter Rijkaard. And yellows will be out up by turn 14, which is where Walter spun. But it looks to have got going again, so I don't think they will be out for long. But anyone on a third sector, which was Aaron Ferrazzano, who is currently in his third sector at the moment, in third place, and Matteo Valente and Nano. Oh, no, not Nano. Oh, Nano Lopez back out there. No, he's not. No one, he's still sitting 6th at the moment, though, so no one's actually been able to better him at the moment. Hugh Barter then sets the fastest first sector, once again going for it right to the line, apparently, is Hugh Barter. He might back out of it, depending on what other people do. It doesn't look like Dylan Estra's backing out of it. This still looks like a pretty quick lap from Dylan. Personal best in the first sector. See how he can do around the next few corners. Solian Amrouche then still down in 8th at the moment. Checker flag is out. Hugh Barter has set a fastest middle sector, so he's definitely not decided. This looks like a slow-moving Dylan Estra, so actually I think he's backed out of this, so I'll be surprised to see if Hugh Barter also backs out of it, because he's down in the middle sector, so he can't better it really from here, can Dylan Estra. Comes across the line and remains second place, although he did have a very fast final sector, so there you go. Quick in the final sector was Dylan Estra. Hugh Barter, though, sets a faster lap than his previous lap of a 36.6, and he has taken pole position for the first race by over 4 tenths. So not a bad start for Hugh Barter, returning to the championship this weekend. So brilliant work from the Australian-Japanese driver for Winfield Racing, once again to his winning ways, I'm sure. It starts this time with a pole position. So Hugh Barter then nearly a 5-second lead and takes pole position. Dylan Estra second. Third will be Aaron Ferrazzano. Matteo Valente down in fourth. Laurent Vutic, good qualifying session from Laurent. And we'll start the gentleman class from pole position, but also starts an overall fifth. Jeremy Clavard is sixth, which is again a really good performance from the newbie here for Stack Racing. Nano Lopez unfortunately did drop down 1 place after bringing out the red flag for TS Corsa, and didn't manage to rejoin that session, so starts 7th. Solian Amrouche down in 8th. Walter Reichardt will start 9th. Craig McClatchy down in 10th. Alain Boucher down in 11th. Frederick Boileau down in 10th. They'll be annoyed by that, I'm sure. It's not where we're used to seeing them. And shortly we will get the next part of qualifying underway. Sure why one of the cars there didn't come into the pit lane. They seem to have continued round the track, or also it looked like that, but maybe I'm incorrect. Couple of track limits catching a few of the drivers out there. Car number 2, which is Walter Reichardt, was done for track limits reporting at turn 17, it looks like. Track limits also reported for Solian Amrouche at 17. Lap 7 and 8 were deleted. Definitely sounds like a car is still out on track. I thought it was Solian Amrouche who hadn't come back to the pits, but maybe I am seeing things. Craig McClatchy having a chat with his team there. And it's great to see so many people here this weekend. Lots of fans getting involved. Lots of people coming to watch some of this great racing at Ultimate Cup. If you want to get involved, of course, you can head to our website and get involved and come watch the racing for yourself. If you're a racing fan and you're into watching just a day full of racing, I mean, that's the way to go, really. Because we have been here since 8 o'clock this morning racing, and we're here till 10 p.m. So you get your money's worth. So definitely worth. There was a car out on track. I did think so. 49, maybe it was Frederick Moran. Either way, one did an extra lap on their own. I think it was Moran. I couldn't really see. So pit lane's going to be open a little bit later, because obviously with the car still on track, it holds up the schedule a little bit, because you can't have cars going out on track when not everyone is back to the pit lane. So they've got a little bit of a wait, but it's only a minute or so. And then we will have 15 minutes again. Fast lane is back open, but I was told it was going to be at 12 minutes past, so they're all going to line up at the end. Dylan Estra's not allowing their Alain Boucher to get out before him. Laurent Vucic, they're not quite ready to get going. But track position can be quite important on tracks like this to get clean air to set a fast lap. And you can see that Dylan Estra, you can see here he's got a great opportunity at the front of the pit lane to head out and see if he can set a quick time. That then is Aaron Ferrazzano, who last time they had to give him a little push to get him going, so let's see if it's the same again for Winfield Racing. Green flag then being shown. And the second part of qualifying will get underway. So, is it going to be another Hugh Barter pole position? He's so far picked up 4 pole positions this season, and 3 have gone to Nano Lopez, 1 to Aaron Ferrazzano. So he's currently leading the way with pole positions is Hugh Barter. He had a brilliant weekend in Portugal, in Portimao, where he had 2 pole positions and 3 wins overall. Solian Rouge there going wheel to wheel with Matteo Valente for Artline Virage. Has to wield eventually and yield eventually, not wield, eventually. Still getting a bit of heat in those tyres are the drivers at the moment, with sitting in the pit lane for a little longer than they were anticipating. Nano Lopez is back out on track then. That's good to see that he will be involved in this qualifying session. We'll start down in 7th for first race, but this could be a good opportunity to battle it back out the front. Not what you want to see though, your car stuck in the gravel, unfortunately. So at the moment, personal best coming in, but as you can see from Dylan Estra, still trying to get a bit of heat into those tyres. And if you don't have enough heat in the tyres, then you start sliding all over the place. You risk getting yourself stuck in the gravel. Hugh Barter then has no issues with that. He's got his tyres to a temperature he's happy with, and he's already set the fastest first sector. And he needs to be a bit careful with the track limits there. They are quite hot on track limits here, which is the all 4 wheels off the track. And you can get many penalties for that. Looks like, is it Dylan Estra? One of the, who is that? It's someone is holding up the pack a little bit. It is Dylan Estra holding up the pack a little bit because he's trying to find some heat in his tyres, but by doing that, he's not really allowing anyone through. Hugh Barter then sets the fastest second sector, and I think we might see a Hugh Barter show here for the third sector. Going wide there is Craig McGlatchy. Oh, there's a spin as well. Quite a few people at the back have had an issue. Walter Reichardt, I think, manages to get out of it. It is, oh, he's on fire. That is Alain Boucher for Lamo Racing. Might have just been the brakes getting a bit hot. But yellow's out at turn 11 for Alain Boucher, who for some reason had some coming together. And the fire is still there. So here we go. We see Craig McClatchy lose it, and then up there is 3 other drivers. And I think Walter Reichardt's involved in that one. I can't quite see. I think it's Walter Reichard. And yeah, smoke and flames coming out of that car. So not what they want at the moment. Matteo Valente, I think the timing screen's got a bit confused because Les Hubata had track limits. Car number 22, yes. Do you remember I mentioned track limits at that point? Track limits were reported at turn 17. 1 and 2 have been deleted. So Hubata has fallen down to the bottom of the standings in 14th. Was on a fast lap and the red flags come out. So Matteo Valente at the moment starting has just set a quick time of 141, 2 tenths quicker than Jeremy Clavard, who again is quick out there. But Hubata, unfortunately, has had 2 laps deleted, and he's down at the moment in 14th. So we will see all of the drivers head back to the pit lane once again and get ready for the next part of qualifying. So Jeremy Clavard joins us as a Formula 3 Alpine driver. Formula 2000 trophy as well this season, and a Formula Renault 2.0 champion 6 times. Winner 6 times, rather. Joins us this weekend as our newbie. Great to see him. Been doing a lot of racing, has Jeremy, over the last couple of years. So it's great to see him involved with Ultimate Cup. Frederick Boileau just being spoken to there. Probably about what has happened on track and why there's another red flag. So I mention again the track limits because we did see Hubata exceed the track limits, and that's why he's been given a penalty of laps being deleted. Under investigation then is Matteo Valente for red flag infringement. So that's Matteo Valente, you can see on the far left there, car number 59, waiting to go back out and set a fast lap. He's very keen and sitting already waiting. I don't know if one of his team's going to go over and tell him he's under investigation for a red flag infringement, but we shall see. Haven't been told yet the session is back underway at any time. So as it stands at the moment, Matteo Valente is in provisional pole position, but under investigation for a red flag infringement for Artline Farage. Jeremy Clavard is currently second at the moment for Stack Racing. Third then is Dylan Estra for Formula Motorsport. Nano Lopez is fourth. Frederick Boileau down in fifth for Race Motorsport, and Laurent Vutic currently rounding up the top 6. Frederick Boileau leading the way for the gentleman drivers. Aaron Ferrazzano down in 7th for Winfield Racing. Solian Amrouche for Lamo Racing down in 8th. The Shield de Pierre 9th. Walter Reichart 10th. Frederick Morahan down in 11th. Craig McClatchy in 12th. Alain Boucher 13th. And like I said, Hubata, who's looking to take the championship lead back, is down in 14th. Pit lane's going to open at 6:22, which is a minute away. That there is Gilles de Pierre. Not seen him in glasses before. Session will resume in 1 minute then. I like those glasses. That is Nano Lopez with his TS Corsa team. And there is an engine being turned off somewhere. They've only got 45 seconds before they can go back out racing, qualifying. And Hugh Barton won't have long to, well, he's got 10 minutes left of this 15-minute session, so he shouldn't have too many issues trying to get heat back into his tyres. It's just the fact that he's got to start from the beginning now, because pretty much all of his laps have been deleted for track limits, which means he needs to be a bit careful out there. So 5 seconds time, and this should get back underway. After the red flag came out, green flag's out then. And everyone launches into action. First out is Matteo Valente, getting a little bit of wheel spin there, just a bit too hot coming out the pit lane. Followed by Dylan Estra, who's down in third at the moment. Walter Rijkaard, and then just behind that is Nano Lopez for TS Corsa. Nano Lopez immediately going out quite aggressively. 10 minutes left on the clock. A while for the tyres to get back up to temperature. They're out lap at the moment, so we don't expect to see any laps coming in for the next few laps. So where are we in terms of championship points? Well, Nano Lopez leads the way with 281 points. Leading from Hugh Barter with 240 points. So 41-point lead for Nano Lopez. Dylan Estra down in third at the moment with 207 points. Aaron Ferrazzano in fourth, 203 points. Matteo Valente is in fifth at the moment with 178 points. In the gentleman category, Lauren Vutic is leading the way at the moment with 247 points, but it's pretty close in the gentleman category. Frederick Boileau is at 242 points, and then Walter Rijkaard 228. So lots to play for still in the gentleman drivers category. So times will start coming in now with 8 minutes left on the clock. Nano Lopez has set the fastest middle sector on his previous lap. Still a second off the pace. Hugh Barter then, down at the bottom at the moment, with no time set, is set a fastest middle first sector. This is Aaron Matteo Valente for Artline Virage, who's currently under investigation for red flag infringements. Let's have a look at then where Hugh Barter is. Barter at the moment is just coming through turn 10, and so he's going to cross the second sector very shortly, the line, and there he has now. And it's another fastest middle sector for 36.6. So he's on a quick lap here is Hugh Barter, coming up to turn 13, and this is Dylan Estra again, and he's just coming through the final part of his lap, and he's got two personal bests, but Matteo Valente does better his lap. But Dylan Estra has a brilliant third sector. He's very good in the third sector is Dylan Estra, and he is immediately bettered though by Hugh Barter, who is not set the fastest middle sector. That still belongs to Dylan Estra, but has a personal best in the third sector and manages to take half a second out of Dylan Estra's time. So a 1:36.4 is the new benchmark for the field. Dylan Estre drops down to second. Nano Lopez down in third. Hugh Barter once again setting the fastest first sector. Coming through at the moment up towards turns 6 and 7. No one else on a quick lap at the moment. All setting personal best, but no one else on a quick purple lap. This is Hugh Barter then. Let's see how he can do here and see what he can do in the second sector then. He's coming up to turns 11 and 12 and to the right-hander of turn 13. And can he was down in the second sector actually. So this could be a slower lap for Hugh Barter then. This is back to Dylan Estre. But Hugh Barter then, coming through the third sector, is down. Track limits are being reported and laps have been deleted for Walter Rijkaard, so he tumbles down to 13. Another lap's been deleted for Matteo Valente, so he remains 5th at the moment. Hugh Barter drops down with Dylan Estre. Once again, that third sector. He's finding so much time in that third sector. Manages to set a 1:36.3, which is 5/10 quicker than Hugh Barter. And Hugh Barter was down in both the second and the third sector. He might have backed out of that lap, but let's see what Dylan Estre can do. He's not on a faster lap now. He's actually set a slower lap. He hasn't even set a personal best. So Hugh Barter then, fastest first sector. The battle is on between Dylan Estre and Hugh Barter. Who will get pole position here? If we could have a look where Hugh Barter is. He's coming at the moment, Hugh Barter, through the second sector. So let's see here. He's down in the second sector. So can he better this time? Of a 1:36.3. And Dylan Estre's is no better. This then is Hugh Barter, and he's down in the second sector. Can he get better in the third sector? It's a personal best, but he remains second at the moment. So he's now a 10th off, not a 10th rather, he's a 100th off Dylan Estre. That's my apologies there. There's nothing in that with 100th of a second between them. And it was 500ths of a second earlier when I said 5/10. That's not what I meant. Did not mean half a second. My maths today. So they're both on a slower lap then. So has Dylan Estre managed to pick up pole position here? This is once again Dylan Estre, who is not on a fast lap now. Everyone is slowing down a little bit out there. Have they got nothing left in the tyres? And is Dylan Estre going to pick up pole position here for the second race of the season weekend? He's yet to have a pole position outright, Dylan Estre, and he's down in the first sector, but he's set a personal best in the second sector. So he's bettering his time, whereas Hugh Barter is down completely on this lap. So 2 minutes left on the clock, hasn't got a lot of time to go around. And that third sector is incredible from Dylan Estre. He's once again set the fastest third sector, bettering his own third sector. So that's amazing, 1:36.3, he's bettered his own time and taken a 10th out. So now it's a 10th between Hugh Barter and Dylan Estre, so not quite as close. What can Dylan Estre do, Hugh Barter do in the final few moments? Nano Lopez, the championship leader, is really struggling out there. Dylan Estre once again down in the first sector. Hugh Barter is the one, though, that we are needing to watch now. He's down in the first sector, too. These tyres have gone. I don't think we're going to see anything more here, or at least anyone else taking pole position. 1 minute 20 on the clock. We've had Jeremy Clavard have his last lap removed, so he's down in 6th at the moment. But what can Dylan Estra do to make sure he retains pole position? Aaron Ferrazzano at the moment down in 3rd. Nano Lopez in 4th, and not a better lap either. Everyone not setting any faster laps out there. A couple of personal bests, but nothing much to write home about. Both the top 2 not bettering themselves on this lap either. So, ooh, bit of a slide there from Dylan Estra. He's not going to get the quickest lap there. Doing that again, bettered his 3rd sector. It is crazy, Dylan Estra in that 3rd sector. He's bettered it, but hasn't bettered the overall lap. So, is he going to go again? Track limits reported 7 and 8. Solly and Ambrouche then, she's had some laps deleted. This is Matteo Valente for Artline Virage. Can he do better than 5th place? Checker flag is going to now fall, and it is out, so this will be the last laps everyone's on. And can anyone do better? At this point, I don't think so. Nano Lopez has set a personal best in the 1st sector, so not fastest overall, but personal best for him as a driver. This again is Dylan Estra down in the 1st sector, so I don't think he's going to better it here. So has Dylan Estra managed to pick up pole position ahead of the 2nd race for the Hoosier Formula Cup? We're about to find out when all the cars cross the line. Nano Lopez is on a quicker lap as well as Matteo Valente, but they're only personal bests rather than overall. Are we going to see any purple laps out there? And it's again, Nano Lopez could better his time here. He's done a personal best in the middle sector as well. And that is Nano Lopez, who's on a quick lap out there. He's got a bit of traffic ahead of him, and I don't know if that will cause him too many issues. Hopefully that car will get out of the way. See what he can do in the 3rd sector. He's just coming up to turn 15 now. And Dylan Estra gets out of the way, so Dylan Estra's not going to better this lap. So let's see. Hugh Barter, how has he done that? Hugh Barter has managed to bring out an amazing 3rd sector, and for some reason take it by 1:36.2, which is 0.02 of a second quicker than Dylan Estra in those final moments as Dylan Estra pulled in, thinking he probably has pole position. Hugh Barter for Winfield Racing has managed to do it with a very impressive 3rd sector. He was down in the 1st sector and he was down in the 2nd sector, and for some reason in the 3rd sector has managed to pick up pole position. So in the closing moments of qualifying, Hugh Barter does it again. Dylan Estra will be furious. He'll jump out the car and think he's got pole position, and unfortunately he's starting 2nd. So really impressive from Hugh Barter. Just at the end manages to take it away from Dylan Estra. You have to feel for Dylan Estra. I'm sure he thought there he had it signed, sealed and delivered, but 0.02 of a second says otherwise. And that, my friends, took everyone by surprise, because he's down in the 1st and 2nd sector of the personal bests, or of the best overall. So someone's done some incredible maths there and made it all average out to the fastest lap, which, I mean, it's amazing. It's great work from Hugh Barter. So back-to-back pole position then for Hugh Barter. Races get underway tomorrow afternoon. First race of the Hoosier Formula Cup will be at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then the 2nd race will be at 10 to 3, and then just after 5 o'clock local time will be the 3rd race of the weekend. So 3 races to look forward to tomorrow, and make sure you join us then. It is Hugh Barter who's on top for Winfield Racing with an impressive performance out there at Magny. Make sure you join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the first race of the Hoosier Formula Cup.
À 9h dimanche pour la première course du week-end. On va se quitter quelques instants. Je vais vous laisser avec mon acolyte, Renault Lacroix, pour la troisième course de l'Ultimate GT Sprint Cup. Restez avec nous sur Ultimate Cup TV. Le GT Sprint, c'est tout de suite.